Kendall Farnham here at India Hook United Methodist Church with some stories for today. It is a cold, rainy, gray day today for Valentine's weekend, but I hope you are somewhere safe and warm and dry and having a great day. We're going to start today with a book called We Are Water Protectors, and this book was recently named a Caldecott Medal winner, and a Caldecott Medal is a award given to a children's book for the illustrations every year, as I understand it. So this is a beautifully pictured book, and this is written and illustrated by two women who are each of Native American Indian descent, indigenous peoples. So we will see what we've got here. This is a fairly new book from last year. So now try to make sure you have plenty of chance to see the pictures. Water is the first medicine, Nokomis told me. And I'm going to try to show you that name because I'm going to be guessing on a lot of these names, but I'm going to go with Nokomis for that one. We come from water. It nourished us inside our mother's body, as it nourishes us here on Mother Earth. Water is sacred, she said. So there's a baby inside a mom, and water swirling. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. The river's rhythm runs through my veins, runs through my people's veins. My people talk of a black snake that will destroy the land. I got 2 pages that time. Yes, I did. Spoil the water, poison plants and animals, wreck everything in its path. When my people first spoke of the black snake, they foretold that it wouldn't come for many, many years. Now the black snake is here. Its venom burns the land, courses through the water, making it unfit to drink. Take courage. I must keep the black snake away from my village's water. I must rally my people together. To stand for the water, to stand for the land, to stand as one against the black snake. The four-legged, the two-legged, the plants, trees, rivers, lakes. The earth. We are all related. Tears like waterfalls stream down, tracks down my face. Tracks down my people's faces. Water has its own spirit, Nokomis told me. Water is alive. Water remembers our ancestors who came before us, she said. I don't know if you can see down in that water, there's some outlined shadowy shapes of people down in there. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. We are stewards of the earth. Our spirits have not been broken. We are water protectors. We stand. The black snake is in for the fight of its life. And that is the end. And there's a good bit more here about being water protectors. And just to start this, it says, in Ojibwe culture, women are the protectors of the water and men are the protectors of the fire. And that's from Carol, who wrote the words for this book. And there's been a lot in the news over the last few years even about pipelines for oil or pipelines for things going through various lands. And we have to try to balance the need. We have, our society needs oil to run, but we want to protect lands and the water and the creatures. And a word in that book was steward. And a steward is someone who takes care of things, often for somebody else. So for us in the church, we think of ourselves as stewards of God's earth. But we can all think of ourselves as stewards for our children, our grandchildren, and for people who will come after us. And we want to take good care of the earth and leave it in good shape for everybody. Next story is called The Bear and the Moon. And this story is for no particular reason. I just saw it at the library and thought it looks like a red balloon there to me, which looked like fun. So let's see what happens to this bear. Opening his eyes after a long snooze, the bear saw a red dot in the blue sky. The closer it floated, the bigger and rounder and redder the dot became, until it was no longer a dot at all. It was red as a berry and round like the moon, with a long silver string drifting brightly in the breeze. Curious, the bear went to investigate. First, he tried to catch the string between his teeth. But when it floated out of reach, he climbed onto a boulder and stood on his two hind legs, balancing. Uh-oh. The bear wobbled, slipped, and tumbled into a furry puddle. Poor bear. But then it drifted nearer and nearer. There! Suddenly, the bear felt lighter than air. When he walked, it walked. When he danced, it danced. And when dinner time arrived, he tied the silver string to a stone. The bear enjoyed the quiet company while he ate beside the creek. And when evening became night, it glowed softly in the moonlight. The next morning, the bear gave it a tour of his whereabouts. Here is the tree I can climb to find honey. Here is where I curl into a ball and roll down the hill. And this is the spot where I sit on the pot. All the while, the floating red thing smiled back at him like a friend. It dipped and breezed and bumped against the bear's cheek. What a nice thing! What a wonderful thing! What a squishable, huggable thing! Uh-oh! The bear stared at the red tatter dangling on the silver string. He thought, maybe I can fix it. He tried stretching it. He tried throwing it back up into the sky. He tried closing his eyes and dancing with the string in his hand, just as they had danced before. But nothing brought it back. The sky had sent him a gift, a friend, a small red moon, and now it was gone. Bad bear, he thought. Bad, bad bear. Night fell, but the bear skipped his dinner. With a heavy heart, he listened to the water rush over the rocks in the creek and gazed up at the stars. When suddenly the full moon rose from behind two mountains, it reached down to him and gently stroked his fur. Quietly, the moon was speaking to the bear, and the bear understood. Good bear, kind bear, don't worry, bear. Blanketed in moonlight, the bear remembered the small dot that grew and grew and grew into a red, round friend drifting brightly in the breeze. It was gone now, but as he dozed off to sleep, he held the memory on a silver string, and in his dreams they danced again. And there's a picture of Bear with his red balloon. And that balloon must have had helium in it, because helium is lighter than air, and those are the balloons that float up and stay up in the sky. A balloon just filled with room air would kind of sit on the floor or wherever you put it. And balloons don't last forever. Eventually the helium leaks out or goes, or sometimes balloons get popped if we're not careful with them, but they are fun for a little while. Our next book is called My Red Balloon, and this is by Eve Bunting. We've had several books by Eve Bunting before. She's a favorite author of mine. So we'll see what happens with Eve Bunting's story about a red balloon. The first thing I see when Mom wakens me is my red balloon that's shaped like a heart. On it is printed, "Welcome home." It's waiting. Look at the beautiful quilt on this bed. That's lovely. Mom and I have been waiting too, but today is the day. I jump out of bed and dress. I bring my red balloon downstairs and twist the string around the arm of my chair. It floats above the table. "Welcome home." Having trouble turning pages today. Sorry. There we go. Mom is dressed real pretty. So am I. Even my Spider-Man underpants are new. Mom pours cereal, but we don't eat much. "Will Daddy be happy to come home?" I ask. "Very happy. But he had a job to do," I say. "Being on his ship, making sure our country stays safe." I know this because I've asked before. "That's right, Bobby." Mom kneels to tie my tennies. My red balloon doesn't want to go in the car with us. We push it gently. It rises to the roof, its string attached to my wrist. We see the crowds and the jammed-up parking lot before we get to the pier where the big ship will come in. Lots of daddies and mommies are coming home today, Mom says happily. There sure are lots of people jostling around, big people, little people, even babies in strollers or tucked in those little sling things that hang from their mommy's shoulders. A band's playing real loud. "Can you see it yet?" someone asks a tall man. "Not yet," he says. "Your son's coming home?" the same someone asks. "My daughter." The man smiles a huge smile that flashes out from under his mustache. "My daddy's coming," I tell him, and I look up at my red balloon and jerk it so it bows. It's high above everyone, even the tall man. After we meet him, my daddy always puts me up on his shoulders. If I were up on his shoulders now, my red balloon would touch the clouds. The girl next to me tries to hold my balloon string, too, but I say, "Don't touch. This is for my daddy." She's bigger than I am. I move to Mom's other side, just in case. My red balloon is very important. Mom wrote to Daddy and told him I'd be carrying a red balloon today. I move it fast so it jumps and bounces. Suddenly there's an enormous cheer. "There it is!" a man shouts. I cheer too, so loud it feels as if my ears are going to burst. The big gray ship with the flat deck where airplanes can land and take off is coming. I can see the sharp-nosed planes and the tiny figures of the sailors lined up along the railing. Move this closer. Here's the ship. If you can see the... Yikes, sorry. See all the sailors here. Those are the sailors. That's an aircraft carrier, is that kind of ship. The band's playing extra loud now. I know the song, it's one of Daddy's. "Anchors Aweigh," which is okay, even though the song's about a ship going out, not coming in. We're all singing and clapping in time. A woman who looks like my grandma is giving out flowers from a humongous bunch she carries. But she's too far away from us. I guess we won't get one. There are banners everywhere. One says, "We're glad you're back." Another says, "We missed you." I even see other balloons. None of them look like mine. I tug at Mom's arm. Are you sure you told Daddy that my balloon is red and shaped like a heart? She smiles down at me. I did. She ties the string tighter around my wrist. Whew, I mutter. Ever since Mom told me it was time for Daddy to come home again, I've been worried. What if this time he doesn't recognize me? I think I'm a lot bigger. But now I have my red balloon shaped like a heart, and I'll be real easy to find. The ship is gliding to a stop at the pier. Its deck is so far above us that it's like looking at a tall building. I can't tell which sailor is my daddy. From here, they all look the same. All around me, people are jumping around, kissing and hugging. I hope no one hugs me except my mom. She has tied the string too tight. It's hurting my wrist. I poke my finger under the loop to make it bigger, and it comes all the way loose. It's slipping out of my hand. Before I know what's happening, it floats away. I watch it go up and up. I try to shout, but it doesn't come out right. Help! I will not, my balloon! My heart's punching inside of me. Oh, dear. Mom looks up. Oh no, she says. She jumps to try to catch the string, but already it's too high. The tall man sees it, and he jumps too. He jumps another time. Then he says sadly, I'm sorry, kiddo, I'm afraid it's gone. We stand there, shading our eyes from the sun, watching my red balloon that's shaped like a heart, dancing happily against the sky. Its long, skinny string sways beneath it. My eyes are stinging. Mom scooches down beside me, and suddenly I'm crying. Daddy won't know me, I whisper, and Mom says, What do you mean? He'll always know you. Then a woman shouts, Little boy, look! Look at your balloon! Let's see what happened here. I lift my head. My red balloon, that's shaped like a heart, has sailed across to the ship, and it's floating just above where the sailors are standing. See, Mom says. I stop sniffling, and then I see my daddy. He's 4 from the end. Daddy! Daddy! I yell. Now all the men and women are rushing down from the ship, cramming, crunching into the crowd, and my daddy is beside us, kissing Mom, lifting me, holding me tight, and he's taller than anyone. Did you see my red balloon that's shaped like a heart? I ask. Yes, he says. I knew it was yours. Then I looked down here and I saw you. You did? He's giving me the best daddy squeeze. I put my mouth close to his ear. Welcome home, Daddy. And there's the balloon, says welcome home. And that is the end. So that beautiful story. It's about a little boy waiting for his daddy to come home who's in the military, the Navy, I think that must be on the ship. Let's see what else we have. Several books. Oh, here's a beautiful one. Some of these we'll have saved for next week. This one is called Stella Luna. And Stella Luna is an adorable little bat. I wonder if you like bats. A lot of people don't like bats or they're afraid of bats. And bats have sometimes gotten kind of a bad reputation because people will say they'll fly around and get in your hair and give you rabies. And there are many different kinds of bats. The most common bats, at least that I'm aware of, are fruit bats. Well, fruit bats or bats that eat insects. And if we didn't have those bats that eat insects, there would be many more mosquitoes. So here we go with Stella Luna. In a warm and sultry forest far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. I'll name you Stella Luna, she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bats. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as wet paper. Down, down she went, faster and faster, into the forest below. Oh dear. The dark, leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched the thin branch, trembling with cold and fear. "Mother," Stella Luna squeaked, "where are you?" By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down again she dropped. Flump! Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of the 3 birds. "What was that?" cried Flap. "I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet," chirped Flitter. "Shh! Here comes Mama," hissed Pip. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept at night. She ate bugs even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing, except for one thing. Stella Luna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once, when Mama was away, the curious baby birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. "Hey!" she cried. "Get back up here this instant! You're going to fall and break your necks!" The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stella Luna. "You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey all the rules of this house." Stella Luna promised. She ate bugs without making faces. She slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stella Luna behaved as a good bird should. All the babies grew quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked! "I'm just like them," thought Stella Luna. "I can fly too." Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed gracefully on a branch. Stella Luna tried to do the same. How embarrassing! "I will fly all day," Stella Luna told herself. "Then no one will see how clumsy I am." The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their new wings. "The sun is setting," warned Flitter. "We had better go home or we will get lost in the dark," said Flap. But Stella Luna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The 3 anxious birds went home without her. All alone, Stella Luna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. "I promised not to hang by my feet," Stella Luna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. "Hey!" a loud voice said. "Why are you hanging upside down?" Stella Luna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most peculiar face. "I'm not upside down, you are," Stella Luna said. "Oh, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs, so that makes you upside down." The creature said, "I'm a bat. I am hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up." Stella Luna was confused. "Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong." "Wrong for a bird, maybe, but not for a bat." More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. "You ate bugs?" stuttered one. "You slept at night?" gasped another. "How very strange," they all murmured. Wait! Let me look at this child." A bat pushed through the crowd. "An owl attacked you?" she asked. Sniffing Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, "You are Stella Luna. You are my baby." You escaped the owl? Cried Stella Luna. You survived? Yes, said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. Come with me and I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we will crash into trees. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in darkness. Come with us. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. I'll never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go, agreed Pip. They hang by their feet and they fly at night and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on their way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna said excitedly. We will fly at night. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap leapt from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. Ah, shrieked Flap. They're going to crash, gasped Stella Luna. I must rescue them. Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree and the birds grasped a branch. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. We're safe, said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike, mused Flitter. And how can we feel so different and be so much alike, wondered Pip. I think this is quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna, but we're friends, and that's a fact. And there are some notes about bats here. 4,000 species of mammals, and almost 1/4 are bats. And that's a lot of bats. Now, I'm curious. See, I was wondering about the flying, the seeing, because what I understand, okay, this book is quite a few years old, 1993, because what I think we've realized is that bats don't necessarily see so much at night, but they have echolocation and kind of radar. So it's not sure it's necessarily the seeing, but they can definitely tell where they're going at night and are safe to fly around, that's for sure. All right, we have, trying to see if we have a short book, because we're just about out of time for today, but let us read The Secret Birthday Message by Eric Carle. And we've done some Eric Carle books before, too, because I enjoy the pictures. They're a lot of fun. Quite a few books by Eric Carle. And again, I'm having trouble with pages. Here we go. On the night before Tim's birthday, he found a strange envelope under his pillow. He sat up straight in his bed and opened the letter. Inside was a secret message, and this is what it said. Look at that. When the thumbs up, look for the biggest. Below it, you'll see a. Behind that is the go in, look up to find a, crawl through, go down, walk straight ahead to a, open it. You will see a, climb up and through. That's where you'll find your birthday gift. Happy birthday. So it's a little bit of a code there, and wonder if you can figure out what any of those symbols mean. Let's check and see how Tim does. When the moon comes up, there's the moon coming up. Beautiful. Look for the biggest star. Beautiful. Below it, you'll see a rock. Behind that is the entrance to a cave. Go in. Oh goodness, this is exciting. Ever been in the cave? Look up to find a round opening. Crawl through. And speaking of bats, there's some hanging in the cave. Go down the stairs. Walk straight ahead to a door. Open it. You will see an opening, climb up and through. That's where you'll find your birthday gift. Okay, going up, there's a ladder up. Oh my goodness. Can you find your way back? See the next page, and there's our birthday present. Look at that, Tim got a puppy. Imagine how excited Tim is going to be. Here is a little picture of the whole adventure, finding his present. The moon, the star, the cave, everything. And that is the end. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back next week with some more stories at 11 o'clock. Have a great day. Stay safe, and remember that you are loved. Bye.